This podcast is brought to you by Mapper Forward's new Patreon community, the Global Coffee Think Tank. Check the show notes or head to patreon.com/Mapper Forward to find out how you can become a member today. Welcome back to the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and I am joined again by Willy Gihozo. Please tell me I said it right that time. Yes?
Yeah. That's correct.
Excellent. Thank you. Willy, welcome back to this episode. We are talking today about how the coffee industry and supply chain in Brazil is impacting the coffee supply chain in Rwanda. So tell me how that's happening.
It's affecting us in one way.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the prices, because the C price during the start of the year was very high.
Right.
So that's when they settled, and then we have to do that farm gate price.
Mm-hmm.
The government have to regulate that farm gate price, and then. As we're looking into right now, the farm gate price doubled from what we used to know the last year.
So help a not so up on this person, help me catch up. So The farm gate, help me understand what the farm gate price in Rwanda, how it's connected to the C price.
So when they're regulating
the
farm gate price, they just use the C price. They check on the New York market.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So after checking on the New York market, the government has to regulate the C price, the farm gate price, the money to be paid to the farmers.
So it's government regulated what the farm gate price is, not regulated by producers. So the producers are not setting the price of what they're going to get paid for at the farm gate.
Yes.
Right.
So, and it's doubled. Before it was around 220 francs.
Mm-hmm.
That's our currency. And now it is 410 francs, even going higher.
Wow.
That's a lot of,
And that's at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the beginning of the season. So you can understand what's happening right now. That means the prices are still going high. Yes. So I think that affected us very high, like producers.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other side, it's a good thing on farmers.
Tell me more.
Because they are earning much.
Right. So here's something that I learned from having a conversation with Jonas Figueiredo in Brazil, agronomist.
In Brazil, yes.
What he said to me was that even though producers are earning more, and it's great that producers are getting more money because of the increase in the C price, but the imports are much more expensive than they were before the price started going up. Are you seeing the same thing in Rwanda?
Imports?
Yeah, so fertilizers and nitrogen and all of the other things. You're seeing those prices increase as well?
Yeah, I was about to come across that.
Please go ahead. I'm sorry, I stole your thunder.
Yeah. The fertilizers have gone so high. The price of fertilizers.
Right.
Yeah, they have gone so high. Now the fertilizers are so expensive. So since the ending of the last year, the imports of the fertilizer are so high. So I think it's gonna affect us so much this year because we have to give more out to have fertilizers. We need fertilizers every year. So we have to give much money to have enough fertilizers. So I think
go ahead.
It's something happening globally. I think it's more connected to that war in Ukraine somehow, and about the pandemic, because even the pandemic affected the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I have heard news, but I'm not very sure that the production they used to have wasn't there because there was the pandemic, problems reducing the workers, Yeah, so that's kind of it.
So did production out of Rwanda decrease because of the pandemic?
No, it didn't decrease the production. Mm-hmm. The production, it's according to the yield of each year.
Right.
So here in Rwanda, the seasons are not the same. Like this year, we might have, we have 4 regions in Rwanda.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're producing coffee.
Yep.
We have West, East, North, and South.
Mm-hmm.
So according to the climate, the production of the regions decrease or increase.
Okay.
So telling you, like on our farms or here in the West, because we are located in the west of Rwanda, this year the production might decrease.
How come?
Yeah, because as we seeing on the coffee trees, as we saw, the yield wasn't that high as last year.
Is that normal? Because I know in Brazil, they usually have an up year and then they have a down year. So does the same thing happen?
That's normal.
Right.
Yeah, it happens. So like this year, it might go high, not down. And then next year, it might go high in our region.
Okay.
Same as other region, maybe let me say like East region. This year, they might have a high production, but next year, it might goes down. So it's all about the weather and the climate. So.
Right. But when I think I used the wrong term when I asked the question. When I ask did production go down, I mean labor force. So
labor force. Oh, sorry.
No, that it's not. It's my bad. I'm sure I'm not using the right terms. So from what you're saying, the yield did not go down. Did the labor force go down during the pandemic?
Yes, of course, because we had lockdown. Yeah, we had lockdowns.
Right. So that must have been really hard work to keep the yield high with less employees, less labor force.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Wow. I kind of want to talk when we go to the next episode, I want to talk about the way that the pandemic impacted coffee producing in Rwanda. But if we could go back to the impact of Brazil. Mm-hmm. Tell me more about how the prices in Brazil, or the prices in New York actually, on the sea market. So what happened in Brazil? How did that impact Rwanda and the coffee coming out of Rwanda? Was it just the pricing?
Yeah. I think it's because of the demand on the market.
Right.
Yeah, so because there is that problem in Brazil.
With the frost?
With the frost. So that means the production will drop.
Right.
Yes. So then after, the buyers will target other countries. That's Rwanda. Let me say that's Rwanda.
Right.
And then the prices inside the country, producers will go high because people start hunting coffee very much.
Right.
So that's another way how it affected Rwanda in production and prices. Yeah.
Before you were talking about the farm gate price and that the government set the farm gate price really high. What impact did that have on let's say your mill? Do you pay the producer do you pay the farm gate price at the time that you take hold of the coffee?
Yes.
And then you pay the bonus later?
Yeah, later. So let me explain very well.
Yeah, please.
When a farmer delivers coffee to us, we have to pay according to what he brought, the kilograms. So we take the price, and then we multiply with the kilograms he brought, and then we pay him or her cash.
And that's the farm gate price, right?
That's the farm gate price.
Okay.
And then later after selling the coffees, there is what we call a bonus.
Right.
That bonus is being given to a farmer after selling. So when we're giving out bonus, we take, maybe let's say we're giving out 50 francs per kilogram. That means we take the other 50 francs per kilogram, and then we multiply with the harvest a farmer brought, or the coffee cherries a farmer brought to us. Right. And that will be a bonus.
Is the bonus price set by the mill, or is it set by the government?
Yeah.
Oh, you set the bonus price.
The mill. Yeah, because the producers, we have different prices in the markets. The contracts are different. That's why the government can't set a bonus.
Right. What incentive does the mill have? Sorry, go ahead. So you have to go on.
You have to set a bonus accordingly to how you sold the market. Yeah.
Right. What incentive does the mill have to give a bonus?
Okay, for us, it's like raising up the community.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because, people, working with people, with farmers, so you really need to help them. Because I think when you give a bonus to a farmer, it's like a motivation. He will think of treating very well his farm. And he will really understand that the coffee trees he has are helping his family. So he'll think there is value in it. Yeah, that's what they need to know. That's why we need to keep pushing, so we can raise the awareness of the coffee production in Rwanda.
I'm going to ask you a rookie question here. Please forgive me for not knowing the answer to this before I ask you. Do people go out and plant coffee trees in Rwanda, or is it like you walk into the forest and are they native coffee trees, or are they big farms that are produced?
No, they plant.
They do plant. Because I know that there are some parts where, maybe not in Rwanda, but other parts of Africa, I know that this happens in Burundi, where people go and just pick off wild plants and then they bring them to the co-op and then they just sell the bags of cherries. And so,
I think maybe like I've heard that in Ethiopia.
Yep.
Yeah, because
I know that happens in Ethiopia as well.
Yeah. So, but for us, you need a farmer farms for his own. Yep. And then he's the one to look after the trees.
Yep.
And then after harvesting, he's the one to be paid because he owns the farm.
And he owns the trees. So it's not like he's walking somewhere where there are just a whole bunch of trees that have sprung up. Right. So
that's like harvesting money on the way.
Yeah, but it happens in some countries. In
some countries. Yeah.
It definitely happens. So again, forgive me for my naivety, but I just thought that I would ask.
Yeah, it's fine.
So, so in the next episode, I want to talk about how COVID has impacted the coffee supply chain within Rwanda. Are you comfortable talking about that more?
Yeah, to what I know, regarding what I know.
Perfect. Let's do it, Willy. Peace, love, and peanut butter,
sure.
everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks, friends. If you enjoyed this video, here's what you should check out next. Consider supporting Map It Forward on Patreon and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell before you leave.